Was Jesus really born on December 25th? The truth behind the Christmas date. When we think about Christmas, a familiar image comes to mind: twinkling lights strung across rooftops, evergreen trees adorned with ornaments, families gathering for feasts, and the echo of carols filling the winter air. Central to all this is the celebration of Jesus Christ's birth. But there's a question that might not be as widely discussed: was Jesus really born on December 25th? It's a date that's deeply embedded in Christian tradition, yet the journey to this particular day is more complex and layered than many might realize. To uncover the truth, we'll delve into historical records, theological insights, and cultural traditions that have shaped the Christmas date as we know it today. The mystery surrounding Jesus' birth date. For most people, the idea that Jesus was born on December 25th is a given, something almost universally accepted in Christian practice. But if you were to search the Bible for a clear statement of this date, you'd come up empty-handed. The Gospels of Matthew and Luke provide the most detailed accounts of Jesus' birth, describing everything from the visit of the Magi to the manger in Bethlehem, yet neither Gospel mentions the exact day or even the season of his birth. The early Christians were less concerned with pinpointing the exact date of Jesus' birth than they were with the significance of the event itself. The birth of Christ, or the Incarnation, was seen as a pivotal moment in human history, God becoming man to save humanity. But as Christianity spread and became more institutionalized, the question of when to celebrate this monumental event became more pressing. The Roman influence. Why December 25th? To understand how December 25th was chosen as the date for Christmas, we need to take a step back into the history of the Roman Empire. During the time of early Christianity, Rome was a melting pot of cultures, religions, and traditions. One of the most popular celebrations in the Roman calendar was Saturnalia, a festival held in honor of the god Saturn. Saturnalia was a time of feasting, gift-giving, and general revelry, lasting from December 17th to December 23rd. This festival was so beloved by the Roman populace that it continued to be celebrated even as Christianity began to take hold across the empire. As Christianity grew, church leaders faced the challenge of integrating the new faith into a society deeply rooted in pagan traditions. To ease this transition, they sought to establish a Christian holiday that could coincide with Saturnalia. December 25th was an ideal choice, not only because it allowed Christians to celebrate the birth of Jesus during a time of widespread festivity, but also because it offered an opportunity to transform a pagan holiday into a Christian one. This blending of traditions was not uncommon in the early days of Christianity. Many pagan symbols and rituals were reinterpreted within a Christian context, allowing converts to retain some of their familiar practices while adopting new beliefs. By choosing December 25th, the Church provided a Christian alternative to Saturnalia, helping to solidify the holiday's place in the Roman calendar and, eventually, in the hearts of believers around the world. Theological significance. The symbolism of December 25th. While the timing of Christmas may have been influenced by practical considerations, it also carries deep theological significance. In the ancient world, there was a widespread belief that prophets and great religious figures were born or conceived on the same date as their death. This concept, known as the integral age, was applied to Jesus as well. According to early Christian tradition, Jesus' death occurred on March 25th, which led some to believe that his conception also took place on that date. If you add 9 months to March 25th, you arrive at December 25th, the date that would later be celebrated as Christmas. This connection between Jesus' conception and birth adds a layer of symbolism to the choice of December 25th. The date aligns with the winter solstice, the darkest time of the year, when the days begin to grow longer and the light returns. For early Christians, this symbolism was powerful. Jesus, the light of the world, was born during the darkest part of the year, bringing hope and salvation to a world in need. This idea resonated deeply with the early church, and it continues to hold meaning for Christians today. The association of Christmas with light and renewal is a recurring theme in both religious and secular celebrations of the holiday. Whether through the lighting of Advent candles, the illumination of Christmas trees, or the imagery of the Star of Bethlehem, the concept of light overcoming darkness is central to the Christmas narrative. The historical puzzle. What do the records show? despite the rich symbolism and theological reasoning behind December 25th, historical records offer little evidence to support this date as the actual birthday of Jesus. Scholars have long debated when Jesus was born, and many believe that it's more likely he was born in the spring or fall rather than in the middle of winter. One of the key pieces of evidence comes from the Gospel of Luke, which mentions that shepherds were living out in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night, at the time of Jesus' birth. This detail suggests a time of year when it would have been warm enough for shepherds to stay outdoors with their sheep, which is more consistent with the spring or fall. Some historians proposed that Jesus could have been born during the Jewish festival of Sukkot, which takes place in the fall. Sukkot, also known as the Feast of Tabernacles, is a time of thanksgiving and remembrance of the Israelites' journey through the wilderness. The themes of shelter and provision associated with Sukkot would resonate with the story of Jesus' birth in a humble stable. Others argue that Jesus may have been born in the spring, possibly around the time of Passover. This theory is based on the idea that the census mentioned in the Gospel of Luke, which brought Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem, would have been conducted during a time when people were already traveling for a major Jewish festival regardless of the specific date. What these theories highlight is the importance of understanding the cultural and historical context in which Jesus was born. The exact timing of his birth may remain a mystery, but the significance of the event itself is clear. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in human history, one that would have a profound impact on the world. The evolution of Christmas, a blend of traditions. As Christianity spread throughout the Roman Empire and beyond, the celebration of Christmas began to evolve, incorporating elements from various cultures and traditions. The Christmas tree, for example, has its origins in ancient pagan practices. In many pre-Christian cultures, evergreen trees were seen as symbols of eternal life, and they were often decorated during the winter solstice to celebrate the return of the sun. The custom of giving gifts at Christmas also has a long history, one that predates Christianity. During Saturnalia, Romans exchanged gifts as a way of celebrating the season and honoring the god Saturn. This practice was later adapted into the Christian tradition, where it became associated with the gifts brought by the Magi to the infant Jesus. Over time, these and other traditions merged to create the holiday we recognize today. In medieval Europe, Christmas was celebrated as a 12-day festival known as Christmastide, which began on Christmas Day and ended with the Epiphany on January 6. This period was marked by feasting, music, dancing, and other forms of merrymaking, reflecting both religious and secular aspects of the holiday. In the centuries that followed, Christmas continued to evolve, influenced by cultural, social, and economic factors. The modern image of Christmas, complete with Santa Claus, holiday shopping, and festive decorations, took shape in the 19th and 20th centuries. This transformation was driven in part by literature, such as Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol, and by the growing commercialization of the holiday. Despite these changes, the core message of Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' birth and the values of love, peace, and goodwill, has remained central to the holiday. Whether through religious services, family gatherings, or acts of charity, Christmas continues to be a time when people come together to reflect on the meaning of Christ's birth and its impact on the world. Astrological theories. The Star of Bethlehem. One of the most enduring symbols of Christmas is the Star of Bethlehem, the celestial event that guided the wise men to the place where Jesus was born. But what was this star? Was it a miraculous sign, or could it have been an actual astronomical phenomenon? The Star of Bethlehem has fascinated scholars and astronomers for centuries, leading to various theories about its nature. One popular theory is that the star was a rare conjunction of planets, such as Jupiter and Saturn, which appeared very close together in the night sky. This conjunction would have created a bright star that could have been seen by the Magi, who were likely well-versed in astrology and would have recognized it as a significant sign. Another theory suggests that the Star of Bethlehem could have been a supernova, an exploding star that would have been visible across large distances. A supernova would have appeared as a bright, new star in the sky, making it a remarkable and attention-grabbing event. Some have even proposed that the star was a comet, which would have been visible for an extended period and could have been interpreted as a divine sign. Comets have often been associated with important historical events, and their appearance in the sky would have been seen as an omen or a message from the heavens. While we may never know for certain what the Star of Bethlehem was, the various theories offer a fascinating glimpse into how ancient people interpreted the signs in the sky. Whether it was a natural phenomenon or a miraculous event, the star remains a powerful symbol of guidance, hope, and divine intervention. Modern reflections: does the exact date matter? In today's world, the question of whether Jesus was really born on December 25th continues to spark debate. For some, the date is of little importance compared to the meaning behind the celebration. Christmas is a time to reflect on the birth of Jesus, the Savior of the world, and the message of hope, love, and redemption that he brought. For others, understanding the historical and cultural context of Christmas adds depth and richness to the holiday. By exploring the origins of the date and the traditions we observe, we can gain a greater appreciation for how our faith has been shaped over time. Ultimately, the significance of Christmas lies not in the specific date, but in what it represents: the coming of Jesus Christ into the world to bring light and life to all people. Whether December 25th is the actual day of his birth or a symbolic choice, the celebration of Christmas is a reminder of the transformative power of God's love. As you gather with family and friends this Christmas, consider the layers of history, tradition, and meaning that have come together to create the holiday we know today. Whether you focus on the religious aspects of the season or simply enjoy the warmth and joy that Christmas brings, the holiday offers a unique opportunity to reflect on the enduring impact of Christ's birth. Conclusion: the true meaning of Christmas. At its heart, Christmas is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, the moment when God entered the world in human form to offer salvation to all. The traditions, symbols, and customs that have grown around this holiday are expressions of the joy and hope that Jesus' birth brings to believers everywhere. Whether you view December 25th as the actual birth date of Jesus or as a day chosen for its symbolic and cultural significance, the essence of Christmas remains the same. It's a time to come together with loved ones, to give thanks for the blessings we've received, and to share the love and light of Christ with others. As you celebrate Christmas this year, take a moment to remember the true meaning of the holiday. It's not just about the presents or the decorations, it's about the gift of Jesus, who came to bring light into a dark world. And that's something worth celebrating, no matter what the date might be.